Search for the Leader Coronavirus Daily on any podcast provider to hear more from the podcast. Even with lockdown restrictions easing, a lot of the UK will stay shut. We can finally go outside, but go where? Well, the National Trust may be able to help out. They've announced a phased reopening of some of their parks and gardens from June 3rd, and their spokesman Simon Toomer is with me now. Simon, after all these weeks with all that land closed off, it must be nice to start opening things up again.
It really is. It really is fantastic because, even a week or two ago, we'd anticipated and started to build up to an opening, and then it was put on hold for another week. So no, it's been frustrating, but we're really pleased to be opening now. I'm aware that in some regions and some areas, people will look at the list online and say, well, there's nothing that close to me. Just to emphasize, this is only for the first 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. After that, we're hoping that many, many more gardens will come on stream. So please bear with us and be patient, and we're getting gardens open as quickly as we can.
What sort of things can people get access to then?
This really is based on changing government advice and guidance and rules on opening public facilities. So the rules have changed so that now pay to enter public gardens are now accessible. So when people come, they will be able to visit the garden, the park, but still not the house. There's no access to restaurants or shops still. So it's really the gardens and parks.
Really, in a way, it's like a very grand version of what people are allowed to do at home then. You can have some friends around, but they can't go into the house.
Exactly, but I don't know about you, but my garden's a tiny little garden, which I love very much. But it's not like going to one of our gardens and seeing the splendour of all the flowers and the plants and parks as well. Are quite extensive with deer herds and all the rest of it. So it's for most people, particularly those who don't have access to a lovely garden, it's a major improvement.
I think it's going to be a little bit different for people. And as I understand it, you have to pre-book these visits. What sort of response have you had from people? Do you get the feeling that people have been waiting for something, anything to get out and do?
Yeah, absolutely. I heard a report this morning that the booked places are selling like hotcakes. So this first week, we are able to open 29 parks and gardens, and booking for those started this morning. I'm told as I said, it's going very briskly. So what we're asking people to do, and this is for safety reasons, is that they book in advance. So whether you're a member or a non-member, we're asking people to go to the nationaltrust.org website and book a half an hour slot. It's not a visit slot, it's a half an hour arrival slot. So if you're a member, obviously you won't pay, but you need to book as well. You arrive with your ticket, which will probably, for many people, will be on their phone. If you're a non-member, you'll have booked and you'll come with a ticket likewise, but there is a charge. If people can stick to those half an hour slots, it'll make it much better for us to be able to manage the people flow and make it much safer. And then there'll be all sorts of guidance when people arrive. There'll be good signage, people to help them and guide them to keep it all safe. But once in the garden, I'm confident the sort of safety measures won't detract from people's experience of the gardens.
Is there any particular house or garden that you are especially pleased to be reopening in this first phase? Is the one that you've thought, that's a good one, let's get that open?
There's a few really. I'm very fortunate in my job in that I travel all over the place and I see a lot of amazing gardens I love. For example, I was Quarrybank Mill up near Manchester not that long before we had to close, and I love the way the river winds through the valley, and would love to see all the rhododendrons at the moment. We're probably past the peak of rhododendron season, but there will still be plenty of flowers. There are so many, aren't there? Hidcote, unfortunately, near where I live in Gloucestershire, won't be open this week, but I'm hoping it'll be open very soon, and I'd love to get back there as well.
And just one final question, with a lot of people probably going to be having to cancel holidays and things, it's nice that there's something here for us to go and do and appreciate and maybe take some breaks and enjoy ourselves in.
Yeah, I think so. And because we've got a large number of gardens with a very good geographical spread, it means that people don't have to go so far. And I think people are becoming increasingly conscious of not wanting to travel too far. I often think it's that first stage between urban situations and the real sort of wilderness. They're places where you can access nature and be near nature and the sounds and smells of nature very, very easily and very quickly in a safe way. So they're unique in that way, and that's what fascinates me about gardens.
Search for the Leader Coronavirus Daily on any podcast provider to hear more from the podcast.